How's it going, everybody? Fernando the Lone Star Halo, joined by Todd Fox. We're going to talk about all kinds of angels and where they stand. For instance, Willie Calhoun and his dog. We're going to talk about Kevin Pillar and his dog.
No.
Yeah, not his dog. And then we're going to talk about Goodrim and why he's not good and his dog.
Hey, you are now listening or watching the Halos in the Infield podcast, sponsored in part by Noble L Works over on 1621 South Sinclair, where you can get discounts by just mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield, drink discounts on us, baby. And also by 714 tickets. The price you see is the price you get, and you also get 10% additionally off in the Apply Now code once you order your tickets just by mentioning HITI, Halos in the Infield. Now enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. It's Todd Fox along with the Lone Star Halo.
Hey, that's me.
From the Lone Star State with a halo in my heart. An Angels fan in Texas right from the start. In the land of Astros, I play my part with the Halos in the infield. I'll make my mark. I'm the Lone Star Halo, shining bright tonight. In a sea of rangers, I'll stand and fight with the Halos in the outfield under stadium lights. From Texas to Anaheim, we'll soar to new heights. We'll soar to new heights.
The Lone Star Halo and his new song. I love it.
Yeah, that very, very good. Very, very appreciative that got done. Shout out to Fast Times Under the Halo for that one. I feel like that's kind of like that's like my cue to like run on the stage and give like my campaign speech, like do my little like trot.
Yeah, you'd have to paint your face orange, but I just like the fact that if you had a band and you had a house band that's, this is your show, they'd be called New Heights. I think that'd be the perfect name for your band, New Heights.
Yeah, exactly. Living in a state that like really doesn't have any mountains or anything. We're called New Heights. We're called New Heights because we're inventing the mountains here. Oh, Jesus.
Who said Texas had mountains?
Yeah, exactly. And you have to throw that out there because it's the South. We're making mountains through Christ.
Oh my God.
It's the Bible Belt, sir.
Yes, for all those that didn't understand that one, but yes.
Yeah, for the record, speaking of those who didn't understand that one, so the dong joke. Do you want to explain that, Todd?
Yeah, on the post-game show the other day, we were talking about Willie. Yeah, Mother's Day. We were talking about Willie Calhoun. And I made the mention about I like the way he swings. He's a little awkward looking because he reminds me of a Pablo Sandoval type hitter. Really chubby, kind of out of shape, but he has surprising speed and a good bat. And I said I couldn't stop looking at his gut when they would show the close-ups running around the bases. Now, one of the commenters in the comments said, hey, me and my wife couldn't stop looking at his dong. He's packing. And he goes, I hate to admit that. And now I'm like, great. Now I'm going to be looking at Willie Calhoun's dong. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So that's the joke, people. It's I don't know if Todd's looking now, but I mean,
well, I'm going to try not to. It's one of those things where you're it's sort of spoken into existence. You know,
you cannot be aware of it now. You know what I mean? Like,
look above the waist. Look above the waist.
Yeah, you have to be conscious to not look now. Yeah, it's kind of like when like let's just say you're ordering something at the restaurant and your significant other is like, "Were you staring at a chest?" And you're like, "No, why?" Like, well, they were just out there, and you're like, "What?" And like now you cannot notice. You didn't notice before, but now you have to like, don't look, don't you? You had no idea the first time.
Exactly. Now it's Willie Caldong, you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's a t-shirt idea if I've ever heard one. Randy, get on it.
Not on the dong, but on the shirt. Yes.
If you're gonna make a shirt about the dong, that's fine too. I mean, whatever, man, whatever sells.
Whatever floats his boat.
Dodger fans would buy Ohtani Dong merch for sure. I promise you
Oh,
that. You guys gonna take that, Halo fan? Buy the merch.
Well, let's get down to business, shall we? Because we played the song, we talked about some dong, and now it's time to start the show.
Yeah, you gotta dong before play. You know what they say.
Ding dong. Well, what are we going to talk about first, Fernando?
So since we already got the Calhoun Dong part of the way, let's actually talk about Willie Calhoun and if he's earned his halo, if you will. And by that I mean, okay, he got in there because he signed a minor league deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Angels finally hit the point where they were running out of enough depth where they decided to give him a shot. He's come up through roughly 40 plate appearances. He's been pretty decent. Do you think he's earned the opportunity to stick around as some of these guys start to get healthy again?
Oh, absolutely. I think what we talked about earlier today was the fact that this dude is spraying the ball all over the field. He's the type of hitter I think Ron Washington likes, where he'll take a walk if you're wild. He'll hit the other way if you're pitching away from him. He'll drive the ball if you're leaving cookies over the plate. He's just a prototypical good hitter. He's not your Tony Gwynn, obviously. He's not an all-star or nothing, but he's serviceable. And I'm excited for him to stay in the lineup, as I am when I got the news today about Stefanik, because he's another hitter like that where he's not worried about hitting home runs. We're not worried about driving the ball. These guys just want to get on base, and I think that's a good way to spark an already sputtering offense.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Michael Stefanik is going to rookie ball.
Yeah, he's starting his rehab in rookie ball, yeah.
Okay, I wonder if he'll advance a little bit before they give him an opportunity. But he's another guy. I'm going to be interested to see what the Angels do when he is healthy and able to play. It's obviously going to depend a lot on like Rengifo. Is Rengifo available to play yet? Who's the other guy that just went down?
Drury.
Yeah, there you go. You see, I like Drury. I got his autograph right here when I was in PNC Park.
Well, look how many guys. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, look how many guys are down on the infield. You got Sano, you got Drury, you got Rengifo, and you've had to go to guys like.
Hey, don't forget number 6. God damn
it,
dude. The disrespect.
I'm sorry. I forgot about him because he plays so much. He's Iron Man.
Yeah,
but
the $1 million man.
Yeah. But just think about all those guys in the infield that are out. And then, we've had to go to, I still can't say Girolmi or whatever his name is. Yeah, I mean, well, my dad first saw him. My dad doesn't have the best eyesight, but he was like, "Is that Rendon at third with a beard?" I said, "No, it's not Rendon. This guy's better."
That's fair. I wonder if he got like Tony Gwynn confused with like Brian Giles.
Maybe.
Well, Tony Gwynn just is gotten a little faster these days. That's Brian Giles. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird how some of these guys are panning out, some of them aren't. But as far as going back to Calhoun, to answer your question, yeah, I would love to see him continue to get more at bats, but will he?
Yeah, don't worry. We're going to talk about some of these other guys who are Perry bargain binners. We'll call them that, the bargain bin squad. Because a couple of them have panned out, but I think Calhoun has definitely earned himself a role. But the problem is going to be, so let's just take it back to maybe 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
What would your bench look like? I mean, without a lot of injuries, I mean, Sano is on your bench, if not DHing. Because if that's the prerequisite there, then Rendon is still healthy, right? He was healthy 3 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks ago feels like another season at this point.
It does. And then who was our right fielder we DH'd? I'm forgetting his name already because that's how forgettable he was. Yeah, we had Hicks too. So he was still in time. He was still in time for Moniak and Adele. So I mean.
Okay, and you and I talked off air about Mickey Moniak. Where are you on him right now?
I think he should go. Okay. I've seen enough. If he's not willing to turn into that slap the ball hitter, he doesn't need to be a home run hitter. But that is, for whatever reason, he's taken that on upon himself to just swing at everything, not be patient, have an uppercut swing too. I mean, look how many times, Fernando, where he's been asked just, hey, get the ball to the outfield or ground it to the right side to move the runners in or move them over, and he's either strike out or pop out.
Mickey Moniak's a really, really tough case because it's like we've seen what the guy's capable of, and what that is a hot stretch. But once you get through that, I mean, there is a lot of suffering before he gets it on again. It's just tough because who are you going to replace Moniak with at this minute? You can't send him down because he's out of options. If not, then yeah, I'd be like, no problem, send this guy down. But once again, he's out of options. Trey Cabbage is a guy that I wish we still kind of had right now. I would have liked to have seen him have an opportunity this year. I know Joe Adele isn't considered a bargain bin guy because he's been here, but he's finally getting an opportunity. And hey, hate me if you guys want, but he's looking really good at the plate right now. Not defensively. I fear that this guy might just be a DH.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a spot yet defensively where he looks comfortable. And if the balls hit to him, I'm like, he's got this. Say what you want about Taylor Ward, but if the balls hit to him, he's at least going to A, keep it in front of him, or B, catch it. He'll never do anything spectacular. Won't make any diving spots, but the ball never really gets past him. He takes good routes to the ball. So at least like Taylor Ward isn't a defensive liability, but Joe Adele still kind of is.
Okay, so if Moniak's playing your starting center field position for most of the season, or at least platooning with somebody else, if we were to cut him, could Cole Tucker, for now, Vanessa's husband, fit in as a viable, every other day or maybe every day sometimes type center fielder or outfielder for the Angels?
Look, I like Cole Tucker. I like what I've seen out of him. He's a guy who looks like he wants to be there, and that's what we can't say about a guy like number 6.
Correct.
So with that being said, I want him to, at least at the current moment, stay on the Major League roster. Maybe that's the solution. And worst case scenario, let's just say he can't play well defensively for whatever reason in the outfield. You can always use Rengifo in the corner outfield spot and put Tucker to replace him in the infield.
True.
So that's like worst case scenario. I haven't really seen too much of Tucker in the outfield yet.
Well, that's a good thing with some of these bargain basement guys is they play multiple positions. So you can, like you said, rotate them or move them depending on the situation. It gives Ron more
Grill Master
options. Yeah, I know that's a terrible joke, but yeah, I do like the fact that some of these guys can play multiple positions, and Tucker's a guy that I think can play pretty sort of like Sano, slow start, but he gets it going, and he gives you different looks, and maybe it is our time to move on from Moniak. Me and you both said it when we got him. We hope that this would be, a change of scenery would be great for the kid, and he would latch on and do right. And he did for most of last season, but whatever happened after that injury last year, he's never really recovered.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because I really do like the guy. I mean it when I say that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen all I need to see out of Moniak. I mean, once guys start getting healthy, I mean, there's nothing we can do. Just option him, or I guess put him through the waiver wire, see if anybody claims him. And if not, then there you go. You can send him to AAA, and he can just kind of marinate there. But, I mean, I'm not impressed with him anymore. He's not even having good at-bats at the current minute.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of maturity as a batter that you need to see, right? There needs to be a progression of being a major leaguer, and he just hasn't really gotten there. He's too good for AAA, but at the current minute where we stand, not good enough to be at the major leagues right now. He's a 4A guy where we currently stand, just like Matt Dice to an extent. I mean, Nevin, Billy, Nevin's not playing me. And Perry's like, I'm Perry. Billy got fired years ago. Billy, dude, they're on a sloppy Joe's again.
Bro, I got a surf contest. When's this game gonna end?
Yeah, with Big 20. Hey, how is Big 20 scoring more than I am lately? Billy, Joe.
Nevin, Brad. He's like awesome.
He's naming his like high school coach. Justin. I don't know if that's his high school coach, but that'd be so funny if it was. You know what I mean?
You know. But that's another, and it's weird though that we talk about that though. All the positions that have been injury plagued on this team, the one position that hasn't is catcher.
Don't say it. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. Logan Hoppy's going to the injured list. Why? Because Bob just said so. Nobody's ever gotten. None of our catchers have gotten hurt. Oh, there it is.
It's like I'm tempting the baseball gods. Yeah, see, no catcher's been injured. See.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he almost got hurt at PNC Park the day I was there.
Oh yeah.
Was that at PNC? No, it was at Progressive Field.
Yeah, it was in Ohio.
Yeah, got right off his hand. Got right off there.
Yep. It's like I think Robert said, or whoever was saying that he should have his hand behind his back.
Yeah, that's like catching 101. What are you doing?
Yeah. Jeez.
Get too confident up there, or honestly, just probably not thinking about it. I mean, this guy's been catching forever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just that one time it happened.
You think, real quick on Ohapi, you think Socha would have valued him like big time as far as like not? I don't think he valued Napoli because he was never that catcher that threw people out. Was not defensive. He was pure offensive. He was just like Napoli smash. But Ohapi, the way he is, do you think he's more of a Socha type player, like very balanced?
I think he would have liked a guy like Socha, or sorry, Socha would have liked a guy like Ohapi. My apologies. Just because he's pretty 50-50 on both. He's not going to take the world by storm with his bat. He's not an Adley, Rutschman. I can never say his name. But he's also not an offensive liability. And he's serviceable defensively. He's not Martin Maldonado, but he doesn't have to be.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he can hit his weight. He does go the other way. And, I think Benji Molina fit that mold, but I really think he would have loved Ohapi too, because Ohapi reminds me of an old school catcher.
Yeah. I mean, he really liked Chris Iannetta, and like Logan Ohapi obviously seems a couple ticks better offensively than Chris Iannetta, but defensively, they're on the same kind of, wavelength there. They're pretty comparable defensively. And even offensively, I mean, we saw very good versions of Chris Iannetta offensively, where I would say he's been just as good as Ohapi, but I think Ohapi has way more potential, of course.
Yeah, I think in the end, Ohapi's going to have a far better career. But
yeah. Before anyone calls me an idiot, I mean, I think some people can see what I'm saying. Like, I think Logan Ohapi's a better version of Chris Iannetta.
Iannetta had a good few years though. Like he had
exactly. Really good he was a very, very responsible for the 2014 success for that playoff Angels team. I mean, he had a very good year that year. Very serviceable.
Wasn't he on the Rockies World Series team too?
I don't think so. Was he? It's a good question. Let me check. That was what, 08?
I think so. I think he might have been, because I remember they had a really good offense, and he's probably part of that.
I come on our podcast a couple of years ago, and he said that he stepped away from baseball, and that part of his life was over. I'm like, nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
He was on the World Series team. Yeah. Batted .264 that year with 65 RBIs, 18 home runs, 104 games. Not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he wasn't the full-time catcher, but he was there for most of it. So one other thing I wanted to ask you about, with all the injuries this team has had, and as far as how this team has been playing, we brought it up to a win here, a win there, and this team would be 500 right in the thick of things. If that were the case and only being 2.5 out, does Perry's mindset change? I mean, obviously, he's probably thinking of selling already, but if they had crept, or if they do creep within 2 or 3, what kind of scenario do you picture the Angels general manager having to go to Artie with?
So you're asking me if
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there.
Yeah. So if we start by winning, what are we going to do?
Yes.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, because here's the thing. There is zero depth in the farm system.
Correct.
So, like, okay, let's just say we start by winning, and we are within striking distance at the what do you say, All-Star break?
Yeah, or maybe a couple weeks before.
Okay. So let's say 3 or 4 games out to start July. Then you kind of start thinking like, okay, hey, we're right back in this. And then like Roger Laws like to say, hey, when Mike Trout gets back, oh man, it's gonna be like trading for the best player in baseball. How many
He's
years
basically a free agent.
Yeah, how many years have we heard that? Like, no, Roger, he's just part of the fucking team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you're just getting that piece back. It's not wow, an acquisition. It's not like that.
Nope.
But who are you going to get, right? Are you going to go out there and get more depth? Because, I mean, look how great this Goodrum pickup's gone.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second. But the only trade I could think of, Fernando, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like you said, we have no one to offer in a trade. So realistically, we'd have to strike gold, but then also pay gold as far as we'd have to get an expiring contract of a player that's actually doing decent. So we'd have to like give them a cash or a low ranked minor leaguer and take on the rest of that contractor, right? Something like that to make a trade.
Yeah, probably. Like we'll give you a paperclip and $3. Yeah. Like, that's what we're doing.
It's like, oh, you owe so and so 18 million for the rest of the year. Yeah, we'll cover that. Just give us the player for like this guy.
Do you think Artie does that right at like the current state right now where we are?
If he's desperate enough to put fans in the stands and they are anywhere close to being relevant, I think he lets Perry pull a trigger like that, like on somebody that's owed a lot of money and maybe they're having, a decent second half and you could roll the dice with them to help beef up that lineup. I think they might have to do that.
I'm trying to check who has like a bad contract that's like close to over. My first thought was, who's having a good year? Like a Christian Yelich. And I was like, how many years does he have left? He has like 4 or 5 years left. So that's not going to happen. If it was like 2, maybe I can see, the Brewers aren't going to do anything. So I was like, well, maybe the Angels can buy that contract and, put him in right field or put him in left field. And then Taylor Ward can go crack his face in right field again. Even though I still think Taylor Ward's a piece that you need to think about moving. I don't, in no way, shape, or form do I think this organization needs to retool. It's still time to tear this thing down.
No, it is, and don't get me wrong. I'm advocating it tearing down just like you are. But
you're playing devil's advocate.
Absolutely. What about the team they're playing tonight? I'll just throw out 2 more names before we move on.
Okay.
What about if a Goldschmidt or an Arenado?
Yeah, Goldschmidt can't hit right now. He'd fit perfectly here. I saw that swing. That one. I saw that swing. That like, what would happen if like you put any of your kids in a batter's cage against like Ty Buttrey? Yeah. All right, here you go, Walter. Here's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. In all fairness, I mean, no, I'm very confident that I could still tip 96. At least tip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd get a hit still, but I think those days are behind me. But I can still probably tip a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
I think one of those dudes might. Well, I think both of them are going to leave St. Louis this year. But if
you think Arenado and
dude, Arenado's not happy
Arenado
there.
Will be coming here because we have the fabulous services of Anthony Rendon.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, that man is a certified winner.
$38 million and reasons why we should keep him.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think so? Another thing you and I have said off air, you think that there's a very good possibility, or at least a strong hope, that he's taking his last swing as an Angel. Is that wishful thinking, or do you really think there's a chance?
I think there's a real chance.
Okay, what makes you say this, sir?
Because I would have to believe that if Perry gets renewed, that Perry's going to have to go to Artie and say, okay, I'm only signing here if you give me more power. I have to be able to make player acquisitions and transactions on my own. I am not going to be responsible or part of my responsibilities are not going to be checking in with you on everything. If I want to make a move, I get to make that move. And believe you me, I could already tell Perry does not like number 6. I would guarantee you if he's given that power, he's done. And I would think the same thing if we get a new general manager. You can't get another yes man in here. So if another guy comes in and is like, dude, I don't like number 6. Everyone and their mama knows how bad he is and what a cancer he is. So I'd have to say if he does not return this year somehow miraculously in August or September, I think we've seen the last of him.
Joke's on you because Artie keeps finding yes men. You ever want to find a group of yes men? Just ask Artie where he gets his, man.
Well, that and Gigolos in Buena Park, he knows where to get both.
I don't know, man. I feel like a Buena Park Gigolo wouldn't be that much of a yes man. They'd be freaking throwing haymakers if you tried telling them what to do.
Yeah.
You want me to touch what? Where?
Wow. It sounds like you know your Gigolos in Buena Park, man.
Yeah. They're the reason the rally's shut down there. Some bad times there. Ferals, too.
Yeah, don't forget Ferals.
Yeah, don't forget Ferals. And they're also the reason why that McDonald's doesn't have a simulator anymore. Buena Park people know what I'm talking about. There's no more motion simulator in the McThriller, I'll tell you that much.
Oh,
That's why they call the McDonald's the McThriller. Yeah, those Buena Park Gigolos get to work.
Let's get back to baseball. Those are bad memories and thoughts. Oh, man. So, yeah, I hope Rendon is done. I hope he's done.
Yeah, I mean, hey, for my sake, I hope there is a useless Angels jersey in that closet one day. I was gifted an Anthony Rendon jersey, and I've worn it like 3 times. Yeah, I also have a Rendon T-shirt. Worn it like once. It just, I don't like wearing the guy's stuff.
Yeah, I got rid of that goatee one they tried 2 years ago.
What'd you do with it?
Oh, I threw it away. And I had like 4 extras that we tried giving away and nobody wanted them. So
that's fair. Not even Nats fan?
Nope, not even Nats fan. So
it's crazy.
Yeah. At least she's back to watching her Nats. So there you go.
Good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, they're better than we are. Absolutely.
Sending her some good vibes for real. I mean that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What else you got, Fernando?
So real quick, I want to touch a little bit about Kevin Pillar. Now, Kevin Pillar is currently over the last like 3 to 4 games here on a Linsanity type run. This man is mashing. I think he just hit another home run tonight. The game is ongoing as we record. So what? That's like 3 home runs in his last like 4 games or so. How are you feeling about Kevin Pillar right now? I
think he's this year's Moustakis, but with a little bit more, machismo as far as hitting the ball. I've always loved his swing. It's a bit of an uppercut swing, but when he's on it, and it doesn't need to always hit home runs. He's smart on the base pads. He's a reliable outfielder. I like what he can provide. Unless he really hits the skids, I could see him finishing out the season with us.
Yeah, he has a very good swing. He has there's a couple guys on this team that have really good swings, right? Matt Dice, when he actually makes contact, beautiful swing.
Correct.
But that's the problem. Yeah. He swings straight every time. He's going to take the same swing path. It will not adjust. Pillar has a also very beautiful swing path. But the difference, he actually adjusts.
Yeah.
He was also an Angels killer for years, if memory serves correctly.
Yeah, with Boston, Toronto. I'm forgetting the other teams he's been with because he's been with a few, but I remember Boston and Toronto specifically because he was a guy that would always make a diving catch for Toronto. In Boston, he'd come up with a clutch hit up the middle or a double off the green monster. So, yeah, he's been an Angel killer, but it's good to have him with some depth on, if you can call it that, on the squad so far. I mean, like I said, they've made us a reach at a few of these guys. A few of them have panned out. Emil Garrett has not disappointed. He's pitched pretty good for the Angels too. I like what he's provided. So, some of the bargain basement stuff is working. But this is not an organization or a winning organization with all the moves they've had to make.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a hole that the organization keeps digging themselves into, and it's only getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And there's no, and one more and deeper. And there's just no path immediately forward right now.
Yeah.
Because something has to happen. Artie either needs to go out there, spend a ton of money this offseason and build a team from scratch, which we know doesn't work because they've tried doing that. Or they need to do a proper rebuild where, you can keep the Netos, Shanuels, the Ohapis, because those are guys who are still like 5 more-ish years of control for basically all of them. I mean, Shanuel and Neto are still like 6. Ohapi, I think, would be the one who has 5. I don't know. I'd have to look. I think he might have 6 too. So with that being said, you can keep those guys because those guys theoretically will be here near the end of a rebuild because the rebuild takes about 3 to 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give or take. By year 3, you want to be contending. 4 and 5, you want to actually make the playoffs. By 6 and 7, you want to be a perennial winner, right? You don't want to be by winning. You want to be winning and winning and winning, right? By winning is like year 2 and 3. And for anyone who keeps lying to themselves, like, oh, we've been doing a silent rebuild for 10 years. Have we? We have not been doing it for a silent rebuild for 10 years. I don't know what kind of accent that is, but it's an accent nonetheless.
It's just been a mediocre retool. That's all it's
Absolutely. It's been an improper retool. You want to look at a good retool? Look at the Texas Rangers. We've talked about this ad nauseum on this podcast since it happened. We all made fun of them. You and I were guilty. We're like, what are these losers doing? $1 billion on Marcus Semien and Corey Seager? These guys are idiots.
Mm-hmm.
And look what happened. We were all over here playing checkers, and they were playing chess. They were like, whatever. You guys laugh. And then they sucked. And we were like, way to spend all that money, Texas. You guys suck. And then last year, Todd and a lot of other people were like, oh, they're going to die. They're going to die. They're going to die. And then people started taking them seriously, and Todd still didn't.
Yeah, I held out to the end.
Yeah, and even then, I think in the World Series, you were still like, they're going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked at it. It's like, okay, Garcia, a guy like that finally comes through with them. Like all the right stuff was happening because they had gotten guys to fill the roles the previous 2 years so that their young kids like this year can come through. And even then their veterans are going to be coming back. They just built a nice squad, and they had really nice years last year, and everything just sort of fell into place. And when they needed to make those trade deadlines, that worked too. So, everything worked for them, and kudos to them for winning their first World Series. I mean, I did not think they had it in them, but like you said, it all starts somewhere, and it started up the middle in that infield, and now look where they're at.
Yeah, and that's a proper retool, right? You take 1, 2, 3 pieces, you get those guys because they're available this year, and then perhaps you look at the following year, like, okay, and that's going to be the last piece, right? Whoever it is, Max Scherzer. I know he's with the Rangers. I'm just picking that name out of a hat right now. Oh, Max Scherzer, and then we signed, Christian Yelich of a couple years ago. And then, now we're talking about a team that is going to start being competitive now because the missing pieces are now up with the organization, right? So, that's a retool. Now what the Angels do, or it's like, oh, we're going to get these 3 guys, and Garrett Cole's unavailable, so we're going to get the next best guy, Anthony Rendon, and we're just kind of, he didn't fit here, but we're going to make him fit. That's the improper retool. So Todd's been saying for years since we started this podcast that Artie Moreno needs to get better about letting his baseball guys do baseball things, but he doesn't have baseball guys. He just has people. He just has yes people.
Yep.
And that's part of the problem. As we slowly start to wrap up here, let's talk about another part of the problem. Let's talk about Goodrum, your boy. Where are you on Goodrum? And go ahead and compliment him on how great he's doing. Say one nice thing, Todd. I dare you.
He wears glasses. Not afraid to wear glasses.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't hit a dude with glasses, would you? Like a Wreck-It Ralph, and he grabs him and he hits him with glasses.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when's the last player? When you have the Angels had a player with glasses? I mean, it's been a long time. So,
yeah, when was the last time, dude? That's a great ass question. I mean, Jimmy Herget is probably like the real answer, but that was also the last time he was good.
A hitter though. Yeah, when he went to contacts, he sucked.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the glasses on, Four Eyes.
I didn't mean to bully him, but still.
Yeah, I don't bully people with glasses. My girlfriend wears glasses and contacts, and she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I have a pair of glasses. I need them to drive at night, guys. So I can call people Four Eyes.
I just say I don't like the guy. I wasn't blown away by, at least with, Vanessa's husband surprised me. I didn't know too much about Tucker other than he was a former first-round pick. I knew
what put his glasses on.
Yeah, I knew that Kevin Pillar was a decent hitter if given the opportunity to play, which he didn't have in Chicago. And the other hitters that they've brought over. I didn't know anything about Calhoun, so I was surprised by him. He showed up, but everything.
The best thing I remember about Calhoun is that he was part of that Yu Darvish trade where he went to the Texas Rangers. He was like the big piece in that trade that sent Darvish Dodgers Rangers trade.
Mm-hmm.
He was that coveted piece, and I mean, he just hasn't really done much.
Now he hasn't panned out, but making again like what they talked about on Bally's when they were like, "Hey, he has a lengthy legal record with getting into several crimes and offenses. He was in jail before he realized I've got to change things." And then he came back to the Angels. So I'm like, wow, all right, we're going into the convict, the penal code to get our players now. So
hey, whatever works, man.
Yeah,
whatever works. And the best part is they didn't have to pay Calhoun. You know how they're paying him? In Smash Jacks.
No,
they're paying him in Smash Jacks.
I thought you were going to say in cartons of cigarettes, but that's better.
They both work.
They'll both get him extensive time in the yard. So there you go.
You don't have the Smash Jack commercial. You need that.
Well, actually, I do. Hold on. Let me find
One bite of my new Smash Jack is turning Jack in the Box haters into believers.
Yeah, they are.
And now a word from Honda.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's where we are with that. I don't like Goodrun, man. The quicker he's DFA'd, the better. Yeah,
absolutely. Keep Vanessa's husband. Keep Pillar for now, both of them. Keep Calhoun. The rest of these new guys you can basically get rid of.
True.
Well, that other guy, I don't. He's good defensively. Perhaps there's a role for him. I'm not willing to get rid of him just yet, but we'll see. I don't know how many options he has. I don't think he has any.
No, he's out. He's a wily veteran. Actually, he said his career was over until the Angels gave him a call. So there you go.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
Yeah, if not, he would for sure be making some Mac Jacks.
Oh yeah, definitely. Maybe not too good either.
One bite of my Smash Jack, and you'll be good.
But that's all we got on this show. If you got anything else.
Thank you to our sponsor, 714 Tickets. Use code Haiti at checkout for 10% off that purchase and the next purchase and the next purchase. And for all time, just keep using that code, HITI, all capital letters. And you also get 5% back for future purchases. Don't forget to check out betonline.ag. Do we have a code for that?
No, we not yet. Not yet. Yep.
And
so
that Noble Ale works. Park your car for free. Get drunk so you can forget about the bad game you just witnessed. Mention Halos in the Infield for drink specials.
Absolutely. Drink before the game because you don't want to drink after because you'll drink a lot more and then you'll need an Uber and you'll have to leave your car there overnight. So.
We do not condone drinking and driving under any circumstances.
No. But drink and walk very crooked to the stadium. Yeah, just like my speech.
I don't think we can legally support public intoxication, Todd.
Well, as long as they're just drinking in the, at Noble and then they could just walk it off, shake it off.
Well, hopefully.
Taylor Swift. So with that being said, it's Todd Fox in
the Lone Star Halo.
Good night, everybody.
Big